day, 5789 State Street in Saginaw, West Side Decorating Center. And a good morning to you. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. It's an open phone hour, whatever you'd like to chat about. 989-752-6111. If you haven't noticed, the government is still shut down. Federal government, that is. And, you know, unless you're directly involved with someone who is essential, in other words, working but not getting paid at the moment, you probably go about your business every day and don't even notice the government shutdown. But there are some, because they are essential, are working, at least for now, and not getting paid. Now, they will get back pay, but examples of that are the TSA and FAA for your flying safety. Travelers, may find some impacts. There have been some ground stops at airports because there weren't enough employees. And so far, at least so far, it's been negligible. Now, if it drags out very far, and these folks begin to start staying home and saying, hey, enough's enough, I'm not getting paid, this will have impact on air travel. I was asked the other day, by the way, if it has impact on Amtrak, and the answer is no, because it's a semi-private, it's a quasi-government agency, but they have their own funding, so they continue to operate. Most people say right now, anyway, that TSA at airports is fairly normal. But again, the longer this goes on, you're going to find more and more people calling in sick. According to the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, some air traffic control facilities are already short-staffed because of the number of sick calls. So let's hope these folks can sit down and talk it out, solve the issue. I mean, going in front of the microphones and negotiating publicly is not a negotiating strategy. Nothing gets done that way. Nothing at all. They need to sit down face to face. I have long been a proponent of taking the leaders who are the negotiators and locking them in a room and not letting them out until they come out with a solution. And by the way, you're not getting paid with no back pay, Mr. and Mrs. Congressman, Senator, whoever. It's funny how the lower level employees have to suffer, but those that are in the decision-making area don't suffer. Somehow I don't think that's a fair deal, let's put it that way. So I'd be in favor of stripping congressmen and senators from their salaries until they get this solved. We send them there to sit down and talk to each other and get things done. We don't see much of it except what they do in front of the cameras to make each other look good or bad, whatever it is. Let's talk to Rick in Saginaw. Rick, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have a quick question for you, Art. Is today the rapture?
The rapture.
I heard Carl give Trump credit, so I was just wondering if today was the rapture. I want to get my ducks in a row.
Well, listen, I appreciate the fact that he did. I think it's,
yep.
I mean, that's fine. I've given Democrats credit where credit was deserved, and I think you have to do that, because if all you do is negative against someone, and you don't respect whatever they've done positive, you lose your argument. You lose your ability to be objectionable, objective. So I think it's great. And it's funny how many calls we've gotten on it now.
I just picking on Carl.
I understand that, but it's a nice pick.
Yeah. No harm intended.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right, Art. Love your show. Appreciate you. Rick,
thanks. I appreciate the call. Bye-bye now.
Have a good day.
Yep.
Bye.
989-752-6111. I think it's on one hand, it's amusing. They were getting calls from people saying, "Hey, Carl, congratulations! You gave the president credit." And I have to tell you, I've known Carl quite a while. I like Carl as a person. Well, we don't agree politically, maybe, but the point is, you can still like someone and not agree with them politically. But I also tend to think he's a fair man. And I was glad to see credit where he felt credit was due. And I think there should be more of that. Because there's no exclusivity to good ideas on one side or the other. Now, I know there are some people that don't think that's true. They think only their side has the right ideas, only their side is the good guys, and that's not life. It's not who we are as a people. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's the way it works. All right, let's take a pause. And again, lines are open for you, 989-752-6111. Qatar's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Mahed Al-Ansari. An agreement was reached on all provisions and implementation mechanisms of the first phase of the Gaza ceasefire agreement, which will lead to ending the war, the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners, and the entry of aid. Now, there have been many, many failed attempts at this in the beginning, since this inception 2 years ago, when Hamas attacked Israel and killed 1,200 people, and then Israel's response. And here's what the deal would do. The first phase of Donald Trump's plan calls for the release of Israeli hostages within 72 hours of an agreement being reached in exchange for Palestinians jailed in Israel. Once every hostage has been released, the plan then is for Hamas members to give up their weapons and receive amnesty. It also calls for the immediate restoration of humanitarian aid. So it's expected that by Monday they will begin the release of hostages, although it could be sooner. And Hamas has submitted lists of Palestinian prisoners to Israel. And if all this holds, it looks like it'll be the end, or at least achieving the end of what's been a very, very brutal conflict. Now, let's also understand that we've been here before, maybe not quite to this place. And this is the good news here. The good news is we're hearing from Hamas and Israel saying they both agree to this. So maybe we have finally reached a point where enough is enough, and everybody wants to say it's time to move on. Very good news, to say the least. And in Mount Pleasant, we find Mark this morning. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, I came across a story the other day that Governor Whitmer is proposing to tax marijuana cannabis facilities 24%.
I know.
to pay for the roads.
Whoa. First of all, it's in the budget and it's passed, but it was 24% at the wholesale level of marijuana. That will reflect, of course, in the price that they charge at the retail facilities,
Right.
but it is 24% on wholesale marijuana sales.
Why do they target? Not that I have any skin in the game, but I'm just curious if the public voted to have marijuana shops put in place and it's not government run, how can the government come in and decide that that's the place where we're going to start taxing people to pay for other projects? I just don't see that.
Government can decide to tax whatever they want.
Okay.
Because the proposal that legalized marijuana didn't specify any particular tax. There's always been tax on it. This is just an increase.
Yeah, and why not pick water? Everybody drinks water. Make it a fair game.
Well, these things typically have been called sin taxes. And generally, government has found it's easy to get away with those.
But if it's legal, is it really a sin?
Well, yeah, because, alcohol is considered a sin tax. Cigarettes are a sin tax. So, yeah, it's just a phrase. It's not in the legal language.
Yeah. Right.
But the bottom line is when the marijuana industry came along, the marijuana industry promoted itself as a tax-producing industry that would help fix potholes, the old famous pot for potholes line. The industry said all along, we're here, tax us because we'll pay for lots of things. They didn't say how much, but
Sure.
the reality is that everybody knew they were going to pay a pretty healthy tax. This one, though, 24% is a big number.
Sure is.
So, and it's on the wholesale level, and there are multiple concerns depending how you look at it. Some are negative, some are positive. The negative is that many people believe it will drive a new black market in marijuana. Others believe it will actually go to thin the industry, which is overbuilt. So, time will tell.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted your thoughts.
Yeah, time will tell. It's going to be interesting. I can't fault what they're going to use the money for. That's road repair. But I don't know if that's the right number or not. We'll see how it transpires and what happens to the industry and whether or not we see a resurgence in black market. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, because you already got big industry, like a lot of these farms, marijuana shops that are closing because it's not as profitable
Right.
as they once thought it was, and moving to other new states that are legalizing it.
They overbuilt, and those states that legalized it will have the same problem. Because what happened was communities were allowed to decide whether they wanted marijuana facilities, sales or growth. And those communities that said yes quickly became overrun with them. And too many of them. And then the question is, how do they support each other? And the reason is they don't. And,
Yeah.
the rules of capitalism take over.
All right. All right, sir. Appreciate it.
All righty. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye, Mark.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, it's, it's a business, whether we like marijuana or don't like marijuana is inconsequential. It's a business. If you don't make a profit, you go out of business. If there's too much competition, there's going to be winners and losers. It's the nature of the beast. Let's talk to Susan. Susan's in Bay City. Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Art. In regards to your talking about the marijuana, I listen to No Spin News all the time with Bill O'Reilly, and he backs up all his statistics. He doesn't just say something. And yesterday morning, he said that over 40% of all fatality car accidents, one of the drivers is stoned.
Number seems high to me.
Well,
when he says, is he saying stoned just on marijuana, or is he including drunk driving and other things in that number?
He said stoned, so I don't know. I couldn't question the man, but I imagine it's a total, throughout the United States also. I mean, so it doesn't to me, because I don't know how many times I see people blowing lights after the light's been red for I don't know how long. And they don't even seem to be aware of the fact. I mean, it happens almost every day now that you have to sit there and wait and look back and forth. I mean, every light change because somebody's going to blow that light.
Yeah, but you don't know whether they're stoned or whether they're just aggressive and stupid.
But he's taking that 40% from the insurance records.
It just seems like a high number.
But maybe if you put alcohol, and I'm sure that people that are doing a both. So it's not like they're just going to be imbibing with too much alcohol or too much marijuana.
If he told me the number was 40% under the influence of something, I might say, yeah, that sounds right. But just to say marijuana, I don't think is right.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to argue that point. But my other point is yesterday somebody was saying, well, it's just not only the blue states that are wanting the National Guard. And I think they mentioned Tennessee
Memphis.
Or something like Memphis. And the thing of it is I think it's Marsha Blackburn or something might be governor there. She actually has came and asked, and that's why they're going there, because they cannot control the violence that's coming on. So the Guard going there is because she has asked for them, because no longer can they contain Antifa and the violence.
Yeah, well, that's their own Guard, and they asked it to be done. So, yes, that's true.
And so not only that, but when these states and these governors are smart enough to say, look, we can't do it anymore, we can't afford it, then the federal government picks up the check, not the state.
Yeah, but that's not what they've said in Chicago or any of these other places where they're
because
objecting.
They don't want them there.
No, they don't want them there.
They don't want them there.
They'd rather have the crime.
Yeah, well, and you know what? If 56 black people get killed in a month, they don't seem to care. And I just don't understand that. And he isn't the only one doing this. I mean, I don't have the statistics. I'm actually waiting for a bridge swing here. But, they had all the statistics on the Bill O'Reilly show as to how many presidents in the past. I think JFK ordered the National Guards in. They had them for when the schools were being segregated and they couldn't control the people.
Yep.
They had them, they had them repeatedly. About 5 different presidents have had the National Guard come into different states for that reason, because the violence was out of control.
All right. Well, time will tell whether it works or not.
Well, it's better than nothing. You can't let them kill 56 people a month. And just imagine that. I mean, I can't imagine it. It's been going on for years.
Yeah, well, theoretically, though, like in Chicago, they're going in to protect the ICE agents and their facilities.
Yes, but the citizens, by doing that, the citizens, with boots on the ground, the citizens then, it's just a loophole for the federal government to enact, because President Trump has the right to protect the federal people.
Right.
And with doing that, it's protecting the citizens.
All right.
Having presence there. Thanks, Art. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now, Susan. 989-752-6111.
Gotta go.
All right. Pulled a headline offline today. A handful of Senate Democrats could end the shutdown. Is anyone budging? And what this is pointing to is the fact that on the Democratic side of the aisle, there are some moderate Democrats and those that are eyeing retirement. And they're looked at as the ones that could move out of the way to come to agreement, at least to get a continuing resolution, and then sit down and negotiate. 2 Democrats plus an independent have already done that, but they still need about 5 more to do it. So far, Democrats have held together. And no one has said they're going to change their mind, but as time goes on, those things tend to change. Typically, these things last 8-9 days, which is about where we're at. But we've had some that have lasted a lot longer. One of the things I think it's going to push people, October 15th, which is next Wednesday, is the day military service members will miss their first paycheck. And that's one that might move a couple of people to the middle. Yet we haven't seen any movement in terms of getting a continuing resolution. It's, and the other thing too, politics is at play here. Chuck Schumer, who is now the minority leader in the Senate, wants to look strong because he is liable to face a very serious challenge from Ocasio-Cortez. And the way it looks right now, anyway, according to some polls, is that he could lose. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez could actually beat him right now. And it's an indication of where the Democratic Party is moving. In the same way that the Tea Party and all of that on the right was a forerunner of where the Republican Party was moving to the conservative side, the Democratic Party seems to be moving to the progressive side. Now, I have contended for a long time that the far left and the far right make all the noise and most people don't live there. But the fact is, they are having great influence on their party. Whether it's right or wrong, time will tell. We're going to take a pause, come back with lots more.
On 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And in the final minutes of that, let's continue on and talk to Dwayne, who is in Reese. Dwayne, good morning.
Good morning. Question. I know there's a thing called pickleball, but I've been hearing advertised for different places. What is jelly ball?
I guess, and we have it on Rocket Grab Plus. There's a.
I think right. Yeah,
that's probably where you heard it. Let me take a peek here and see if I can find out, because I don't know, to tell you the truth, but I'm going to find out. Let's see here. Jelly ball. Do. Rocket Grab, where are you? Come on now. My computer wants to act up at the wrong time, as always. All right, here we go. Now let us see what Jelly Ball is all about. All right, where is it? I know we have it on here someplace. Ah, here we go. Jelly Ball. This is what it says. Jelly Ball is an ultra-low impact sport suitable for kids age 5 and up. It uses Jelly Ball blasters, an easy-to-use gun that doesn't use much pressure to shoot jelly balls. Unlike Nerf, where you have to constantly reload with ammo off the floor, a Jelly Ball blaster holds 750 shots without reloading. It's lots of fun. So that's it. Apparently they're soft little things that don't do any damage.
Well, they must be small that the gun can hold 700 balls.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so. I would guess.
Oh.
So there you go. The answer to your question. You see, we have all these answers. I had no idea. When I read it the first time, I had no idea what it was either. I had to look.
Yeah, I know I've heard it on Rocket Grab, and I've heard it other places, too. They're advertising for Jelly Ball. So what the heck is Jelly Ball? Okay.
So it's a new version of Nerf without the Nerfs.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
have
Dwayne.
a good day.
You too, Dwayne.
Have a good day.
Bye now. Yeah, it's amazing sometimes on Rocket Grab we get these deals and you go, what is that? Then you read about it and find out, sounds popular, and it is. Anyhow, I was going to say something and I forgot now. Oh, well. It happens. It happens. What can I tell you? The Tigers started there last hour, mentioned them. But yesterday they looked like the Tigers of the first half of the season. 5th, 6th innings, 7th innings. And you think back to the season, that's when a lot of their damage was done. The only thing they haven't done is the one thing they did in the first half of the season was you could almost count on them to score runs in the early innings. They haven't been able to do that in the playoffs. So let's hope tomorrow in Seattle, Game 5, the deciding game of the ALDS, the AL Divisional Series, that let's see if they can maybe get a few runs early on and alleviate some of the pressure. But, I mean, you know, a win is a win no matter how you get it. And let's hope they can come through tomorrow and be victorious and have a great flight home, as they say. The next series would start, I believe, Sunday, and it would be in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. And that would be the American League Championship Series. So, go Tigers. What do you think? All right, we'll take our last break, come back and close out this hour. We'll tell you what's ahead on Focus.
M&R Garage Door wants to remind